keep it real simple because one, it just uses a swivel, some line, and then your hook, and then you have your weight or your float, because in this case we want to be able to switch from fishing on top as well as on bottom and adjusting to the conditions. We have a swivel, and attached to it is our line that goes to a hook. In this case we're just using some Daiichi hooks. These are 1/0, okay? And these kind of work pretty good for those gar. They got them right in the mouth pretty easy, as well as we did lose a few. But very sharp hooks. So in this case we had a shortened rig. This is about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. We also had another one that was about 4 feet. But all it is either an improved clinch knot, or in this case we had a perfection loop, and our line. When we were fishing initially, we were using 12-pound test, and they were cutting off on those bigger ones, so we went to this larger one and were able to at least keep away from getting the cutoffs. So we have the swivel, we have our leader and the hook, and then here is this clip where you can undo it, and we're using this 5-inch 1 3/4 ounce or maybe 1 7/8, I can't remember, launcher float, and this is the one that can really get out there. And what happens is we'll rig this one up to the clip that allows us to shift from floating on top or fishing on top closer to the surface, or take this off and put on a weight, because where our main line is going to be connected to is going to be the same connection where the swivel and the leader are connected. So here's your leader with your line to your hook on one side of the swivel, and then on the other side is the main line going to your rod. And then from here we're able to switch, be it a float, or we can switch it out and put a weight on there. One thing in particular with the weight, we'll take a lighter pound test. In this case this is 12-pound test. Okay, we'll have a little loop in our monofilament line, and we're using a surgeon knot, and we'll just cut that piece off here. What you have basically is just this little loop of monofilament, and then from there we'll have our weight, and we'll just kind of take the loop through our weight so it hangs like so. Okay, so this is a 12-pound test right here, and when we want to fish our rig on the bottom, we'll just replace the weight in place of the float, and now we're fishing the bottom. And what's nice is, since it's a loop-to-loop connection, we can undo this one fairly quickly and put on a heavier weight, or if we decide to go and float or fish with a float, we'll take this off completely and put the float on there. So again, you have your swivel, you have your leader to your hook, and then you have your main line on the same connector for the swivel, and then on the clip end of the swivel clip you have your weight, or switch off with your float. And what this does is, if we get hung up on the bottom, this breaks off, we still have our rig, and allows us to switch out the float with the weight because you have that swivel clip. When we're using a heavier pound test here, we did that mainly because it was larger gar striking and we were fishing on top, so we weren't worried about hanging on bottom. But when we were fishing on the bottom, we'll switch to a lighter pound test than our main line. So we're fishing 12-pound test here, we'll go with about a 10-pound test, or a 12-pound test as well, and we'll just kind of play it by ear and hopefully not break off. Anyways, typically we'll have a lighter weight to our lighter pound test to our leader to the hook, then our main line, and then we'll have that breakaway weight. Alright, this allows us to basically re-rig fairly quickly, because most times we'll have it break off right here because it's on the bottom. Other times, like the other day with those gar, they were cutting us off right here on this end where the teeth were cutting off the line with that 12-pound test. And in fact, we did have one actually bite on the hook and cut our knot as well when we went to the 50-pound test. So next round, well, maybe we'll try some wire if we're initially try and go for some gar. Anyways, that's the rig that we use when we're at Denison Dam. A very simple one: swivel, clip, your weight, some 12-pound test, and some 50-pound test, as well as a hook. And then we have that launcher float. In this case, this is the 1 7/8 or 1 3/4 ounce. This is 5 inches. There is a smaller one. This is 3/4 ounce right here. We do give it a chance over there at Denison Dam, or any dam if you try. See if this rig works for you. It's a very simple rig. Cost effective in that if it breaks off, you can really re-rig fairly quickly as well. I will catch y'all there. Good luck and good fishing.